I was the chair of the British Olympic Association Athletes Committee, where we looked after the sort of the welfare of athletes for 4 years prior to the 2000 Olympics. And one of the things that we spoke about a lot at that time, it was actually that lottery funding came in 1998. It was seen as the sort of the professionalism of Olympic sport. Was actually the key issue around transition from elite sport into real life. I mean, it became, to my mind, it became a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
And if you add on top of that the fact you're in a team sport, where all of a sudden you are a team member, not an individual, add professionalism on top of that, it must be really difficult, that transition.
Yeah, it is hugely difficult, because also with professionalism, I feel professional athletes are talented individuals, but I feel the only way you can become the best athlete that you possibly can be is by living your life by certain values. And one of them values for every athlete, regardless of what sport he's in, is sacrifice.
Yeah.
And at a young age, you sacrifice so much more than the kid who's next to you. So by the time you become 18 and you enter professional sport, or you're picked up by a professional team, then all of a sudden your life has been completely different to everybody else. Then you enter this professional arena where you become a very integral part of this group of players. And this group of players becomes your friends, the physios become your friends, the coaches become your friends, the game becomes your lifestyle. And without really realizing it, your life is kind of, is passing you by, but in a really, really good way. And then all of a sudden you get to the end of your career when the guy you left at the age of 12 or 13 and you moved in different circles going to be professional, his career is kind of starting when yours is ending. And all of a sudden you step out and you realize that professional career you was in, you was just a crucial part of the jigsaw, that all of a sudden when you've been taken out, you've been replaced.
Yeah.
And you realize that all of a sudden your friends are gone. Your environment is gone. Your way of living is gone. And you realize that the sacrifices you made, because of the values that you chose to sacrifice to get to where you are, meant that you didn't really have an education. Yeah. You didn't really have any qualifications. Yep. So, as we spoke on the phone before, as an athlete, you're very much in demand. People want you because you're relevant at the time. As an ex-athlete, you just become one of thousands and thousands of ex-athletes that have a great story to tell, and have great history to their life, but is no longer relevant for the future because somebody else has come in and taken his place. And it's very, very difficult to firstly find something that you want to do when all your life, all you've ever wanted to do, in my case, was play rugby. Your brain feels you can still play rugby and your brain wants to play rugby, but your body will no longer allow us. So to find the motivation to try and do something, to find, I think it's to try and find the motivation to realize that all of a sudden you have to go to the bottom of the ladder and use what you used in professional sport to get you up the ladder again. It's a bit of a kick in the teeth, and it's something that ex-athletes don't really prepare for, and that's the trouble is, because it happens, and when it happens, on Monday you could be a professional rugby player, on a Tuesday you could be an ex-professional rugby player, and nothing seems to have changed in your life, but to everybody else, you're an ex-rugby player, which is somebody who doesn't really have a future and doesn't want to be part, they don't want to be part of something that they're trying to create.
Yeah.